afternoon, everyone. My name is Bonnie Thompson Smithrim, and I'm truly honored to be here today for the Dr. Mack Open Swing for Cancer. Thank you to Jen Mindel-Barrett from the BGH Foundation for inviting me for this fun-filled day, even though I don't golf. I'm also very happy to have my longtime childhood friend here joining me, Rhonda Dunkley, for her last day in Belleville before going back to Fort Mac, Alberta. I would like to share my story now of how the Belleville General Hospital Foundation and donors to the Belleville Cancer Center has recently been a very important part of my life. I find myself at a huge change of tide in my life since I found out that I had cancer. Life up until now has always been very normal. Like everyone else, raising my children, going to work, doing housework, paying the bills, and spending time with family and friends and enjoying the end of the work week. And it was a good life, a very good life. It never once crossed my mind that someday, and especially at my age, that would all change, and I wasn't even remotely emotionally prepared. I've always felt healthy, energetic, and bubbly, as some people would say, and I've never had any health issues. But over the last couple of years, I did start to feel a little different, but I just chalked it up to growing older or menopause. I finally visited my family doctor, and with my symptoms, he sent me for my first ultrasound. After many tests, including CAT scans, MRIs, blood tests, and a biopsy, I was told that I very likely had advanced stage ovarian cancer. My world as I knew it instantly came crashing down. It was so unbelievable to hear those words. Nothing material in my life mattered anymore. I cried harder than I've ever cried. I thought my life was over, that I was going to die, but most importantly, my children, who are only 13 and 17, would have to grow up without a mother. It was complete devastation. Telling my 13-year-old daughter was extremely hard, and she cried as I expected. I'm sure she thought that I was definitely going to die because that's what 13-year-old kids probably think about cancer, and at that time I felt the same way, so it was hard for me to convince her otherwise. But telling my 17-year-old son was a heartbreaker. My son is a very smart, strong, and tough boy, and when I told him, he never spoke a word at first, just stared at me while I uttered the words. Then his eyes welled up, he cried and hugged me and told me how much he loved me. I hadn't seen him cry since he was a little boy. As hard and devastating as it was to tell them, I wanted to be honest and upfront right from the beginning. So I decided right there and then I was going to fight the good fight. I was immediately scheduled for a complete hysterectomy at KGH, which afterwards I was told that I indeed had cancer. Actually 3 types, ovarian, endometrial, as well as a rare type called clear cell. After a month of surgery, about a month after surgery, I started 18 rounds of chemotherapy in Kingston. But after a couple of treatments, I switched to the BGH Oncology Center under the care of Dr. Levesque. It was definitely closer, and especially in the wintertime, it just made sense. I have to be honest, I was a bit hesitant going to the Belleville Oncology Center, only because I thought the KGH Cancer Center was the better known cancer clinic for our area. But after changing, I was so glad that I did. It didn't take long for me to get to know all the nurses and feel so very comfortable in my surroundings. The nurses and Dr. Levesque were always so professional yet personable. There were always snacks and coffee available, and even wonderful volunteers to serve them. Beautiful heated massaging chairs, my own TV, and my nurse would always cover me up with a nice heated blanket when I was ready for my little nap. Everything at the BGH clinic felt so comfortable. I actually looked forward to each of my 18 treatments. It was very close to a day spa, I thought. My treatment there was A1, second to none, both professionally and personally. And I tell everyone I meet about the excellent treatment I had there. None of this could have been possible without the donations from people like you. Dr. Levesque himself told me that over 80% of the equipment is made possible from donations. Every chair I see, every exam table, every vital signs machine, even the blinds in the windows, are only made possible from donations, he once told me. After 18 rounds of chemotherapy, happily and very thankfully, I finally got to ring the victory bell on May the 3rd. It was truly one of the best days of my life. Sorry.
You're good.
All right.
So today I'm in the best position I can be in. My cancer blood tests have been in the normal range for over 5 months now. I will be having 25 radiation treatments in Kingston for extra insurance, and I might add that a dream of mine would be to have a radiation clinic in Belleville someday for future cancer patients. The Oncology and Chemotherapy Center at BGH is a remarkable place, a place I love to brag about, and truly a hometown hero. I would like to thank everyone who has donated to the BGHF and for future donors for giving me my life back.